I've got a somewhat. This isn't, dude. We're going to talk about bikes for a split second here, okay? So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten those seatbelts. We're going in heavy. We're going in hard. We're going to talk bikes.
Okay.
Here we go. And I haven't prepared this as such, but I am going to talk about bikes. Something that I just found interesting, and I wanted to see if you'd noticed it. And I also let me set up what I'm going to talk about right now. Actually,
Please.
So I was scrolling my Instagram over the weekend, and I'm friends with someone on Instagram whose name's Sandy Plenty. A lot of people will probably know Sandy. He's a owner of Trailhead Bike Co. No free shout outs, but there we go. And Sandy posted a photo of a Husqvarna bicycle. And I thought, that's interesting. Sandy, this is a very nice compliment, Sandy, so thank me later. Got his finger on the pulse, I feel like. He's one of those guys who stocks cool brands, cool shop. He's got his finger on the pulse. And I seen him share this Husqvarna bicycle, and I just thought, interesting. Okay? That was my initial thought. Interesting. Yep. And I seen the graphics on this bike, very... Imagine Jason Anderson's Supercross bike. It looks like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, interesting. Okay, Husqvarna. So I clicked on it. And I thought, okay, Husqvarna, they seem to be doing it right. They seem to be doing a lot of cool things. They've got some good ambassadors. They've got a few people making nice content. They're doing it, right. Because here's the big thing that I'm going to talk about. We've seen a lot of motorcycle brands come into mountain biking recently, I feel like. And, they're basically with e-bikes. That's the thing. Like, they come in, they do an e-bike. And I thought, this is interesting. So, straight away springs to mind. We had Gas do it not long ago. Fantic, Husqvarna, Yamaha already have one.
Yeah,
this was actually
Guido Shug rides for Husqvarna. I was just looking on my phone. My apologies.
There you go. Alan Milway too, also Husqvarna ambassador.
Alan Milway's a Husqvarna ambassador. There you go. Didn't know.
So
that.
There you go. So anyway, I was thinking about it, and I thought, okay, this is interesting because, especially e-biking's blowing up. All these moto brands and stuff. It does kind of tie a little bit. So then I thought, I'm going to make some calls and I'm going to try to do a little bit of digging and seeing how this works and why all these brands are starting to get involved in e-biking, specifically e-biking. It's not really generic mountain bikes, right? So a friend of mine, Col, runs KTM bikes in the UK. I've done quite a stuff with Col in the past. We worked together on a few projects and stuff. So I called Col because obviously Col's been doing KTM for a long time. Now, the KTM name it's the same, but it's not the same as the motorsports side of KTM. So KTM motorcycles that we're aware of, it's not like it's more of like a licensing deal. Yeah, so they've got the KTM brand name for these specific bikes. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. What's the history of that? And he was like, well, basically in about 2007, when e-bikes looked like they weren't really on the agenda, regular bikes were, KTM would... How did it work? Someone went to KTM and said, I'm going to butcher this story, and I'm so sorry. Someone at KTM was like, we should make a bike range, and they weren't bothered because that market was so minute to them. It didn't mean anything. It's like, why would we do bikes when we sell motorcycles and, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, they did a licensing deal instead, which has got a long history. So then there's a woman, a German lady, who was one of the head honchos at High Bike. That's how you say it, isn't it? HAI, High Bike. So what she done is recently she's gone to all of these manufacturers of motorcycles like your Gas and Fantic, and she's gone, I'm aware of a business model. I have a business model which works where I could basically make you e-bikes. So a lot of these bikes are all High Bike, just with different stickers on.
Interesting. There you go.
Yeah, apart from Yamaha. So Yamaha are doing it right. And
they
also,
make a motor, don't they, Yamaha? So
they do a motor, yeah, and also KTM, obviously, because it's a different thing altogether.
Got you.
So basically, historically, the deal was that all these bike manufacturers, like your Huskies and stuff, were looking at the bike space and going, there's not really anything there. The market's not big enough. We're a $1 billion company. Like bikes is nothing to us. So they just didn't bother doing it. So then I was speaking to Col about it a little bit, and he was like talking about how also one of the issues is if these, let's say, Husqvarna made their own e-bike, not with an existing manufacturer, and they sell it within their motorcycle stores, that motorcycle shop doesn't have the service backup. Let's say you go in there and you buy an e-bike and you break something, they then need an account with, let's say, if it's Fox Shocks, they need an account with like Silverfish in the UK, or
got you.
You know, they need a cycle mechanic,
Customer
so it doesn't,
because otherwise it reflects badly on their brand.
So it doesn't work for them just to start selling bikes. Because Cole was saying with KTM, they've sold a bunch of them into like motorcycle dealerships, and it's just been a shit show because someone goes in and they expect that service and they just don't have it. Yeah, so I just found it's really interesting. Like you've got Ducati. I made a note of that. Ducati did one not long ago. Again, licensing deal. That one. Gas. That's a high bike.
Ducati was Rottwild, wasn't it? I think.
That's right. Yeah, which is also part of Audi. Was that right? Audi. Someone like that.
Porsche,
did one anyway.
Wasn't there?
That's what I'm thinking of. Porsche. They done one. That's the same brand. Yeah. So yeah, just I found it really interesting that now the industry, like you were talking about, transporters, a lot of money floating around. Now they're going, actually, maybe we do need a little bit of this, so we'll
I always wondered about the original Honda team because it felt like they were there. They were big news. They were a big team when Bren rode for them, when Minar was riding them.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously, Needles was riding them even before then, who we have on the podcast a few times. But like, why Honda chose to get involved? And it was interesting because they started. What Needles was on the team. I think he was riding like an Intense with Honda written on it or something along those lines, a rebadged other model. Yeah. And they obviously thought, nah, fuck it, let's build an actual bike. And they made their bike.
Dude, I mean, maybe I'm off. That thing looks sick. Still to this day, I posted a photo of it on the Instagram today. I just put like dope or nope. Yeah. Because I still look at that and I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like if they did that now, obviously with a little bit more modern geometry and stuff, I think it looks sick. And like you say, it's Honda. Like, imagine doing that. It'd just be so sick. Like bringing some of that, you know, that motorcycle influence over, I think can't be about with the big, maybe the truck or just the factory appeal to it.
Well, they did, didn't they? They had Showa suspension people there and stuff. They had like Showa technicians there. I mean,
I know we've had cool. Bren on loads, but I'd like to know more about it, like from Bren and what that was actually like, because that must have been
funny when he had that. We were literally in the workshop trying to prise open the box with a screwdriver. Was for the gearbox. We desperate to know what was inside it. He didn't know. So we were like trying to get it open with a screwdriver, but it was really like closely guarded and stuff. It was cool. It was mega cool. The whole project was mega cool. I don't know if they carried on. I think maybe it stopped, and that's why it was cool. If it was now, and it was still a Honda team, whether it would have lost its like magic appeal. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's cool though, isn't it?
It's cool to look at, and also I was thinking and talking the other day with a friend about like Cannondale haven't got a downhill bike at the moment, right? But last year, through various sources and friends and stuff, they were invested like heavily in the downhill, like trying to basically make the best downhill bike. Like they were buying like everyone's bikes, they were testing them, they were doing the same with kit, like apparently clothing, they were wind tunnel testing everyone's clothing. They were really trying to get the best bike, and then it just disappeared. Matt Simmons was doing it, then it just went done.
Yeah,
someone on the spreadsheet just went nah. Same with Honda, probably just looked at it and went done. We don't need it. And it's just weird to think,
isn't it? It's fascinating.
It's interesting to talk about, where that Honda team would have gone if they were stuck in it, because they were ahead of the game, man. They were way ahead. If they'd have stuck with it, got into the e-bike thing maybe, and they'd have been way ahead.